Live from Cool Boys Central.
You're the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
From bat tips to bat nips, we are just cool boys revisiting Batman, the animated series, and wearing hats. This is Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast.
I see Batman and Beyond.
Steve! Hey buddy, how you doing?
I'm excited.
I've been so excited. I'm sorry it's a little loud over here this time, but I'm not in my normal recording location, obviously. I'm in a special location. Cool
Is this like an unknown location or something?
What, Steve? I couldn't hear you. I'm having friends over.
Is this like a location unknown, or is it just you're having a party that you didn't invite me to? Which one is it?
Hey, Steve, it's okay. This was an impromptu party. It's an accident. It just kind of happened. I would have totally invited you, if I just didn't even know it. It was happening. It kind of got planned without me.
Okay.
It's at my house. Well, I'm sorry. I've been really busy recently, and I double-crossed my schedules, and I made a mistake, man. I'm so sorry, so I had to kind of do this. I swear to God, I have it on my iPhone. I'm watching Batman on my iPhone, so I can watch with you, all right? And so I won't be too distracted. Hey!
Come on, hang out with Dan.
I'm with him in a moment.
I thought you
Dan.
Not right now.
You were so in love with
Batgirl
cool.
and Shadow of the Bat Part 1, and you just forget about it, Part 2. You are a shame.
You gotta talk out a little bit, Steve.
Shame.
Yeah, same cool bat time. Again, you're here. Let's do it. Greetings, Cool Boy Bat Nation, and welcome to another installment of Batman and Beyond. Did you do it? Woohoo! I didn't hear it. It's a Cool Boys podcast. I'm Ballard.
Hey, Ballard.
Woohoo! And I'm Steve.
Did you say, Steve? I didn't hear. I can't hear that well.
I think so.
I told you to leave me alone for just a second, bud. Oh no, hang on. Bring that over here, actually. Bring that over here.
Hey, sober guy, you're on air.
Woo! Tonight's episode is Shadow of the Bat Part 2. Directed by Frank Parr and written again by Bryn Stevens. It came out September 14th, 1993. Villains are Two-Face and Gil Mason. It's so hard to read on this little fucking iPhone. Wikipedia says Robin discovers that Gil Mason is in a league and with the underworld and goes to investigate him. He encounters Batgirl along the way and go their several ways to stop Mason. Then they meet again to learn that Gil is working with Two-Face to take out Gordon, and Batman has Matches Malone captured. I don't even know what that really said, honestly, man. What did that say?
I have no idea what's going on. Are you talking to me?
What?
I'm saying that I'm getting nervous, man. I'm getting nervous that you're getting too big for this show. That you're forgetting about it. You're doing scheduling conflicts.
You're gonna have to talk up a little bit for me.
I have to talk louder.
All right. I just want to say one of my favorite things off the bat is previously on Batman was said by Robin's voice. Why was it not said by Batgirl's voice?
I don't know. Because Robin's the kind of the one that's introducing her to the family, maybe?
Did you say why?
Yeah.
Nice. I think that's cool. It's cool, man. I love that we kind of see in this episode, we see that new and improved Batgirl suit, that bat suit.
The thing that I did find interesting on this one, I guess I'm a fan of Robin, and so this is definitely where, Batman's kind of lost, and Robin doesn't really know that he's been held captive or whatnot. He's just kind of knows that he's in deep undercover, and it's kind of like Robin figuring out what to do next, because Batman's gone kind of MIA.
It's really Robin's episode. You're right. It's cool that you're able to see the the ancillary characters from the Bat family really get to shine in this week's episode. It's a great episode. Super solid entertainment. I give it all around a great time.
I thought that, and in this one in particular, you see a little bit more personality coming from Batgirl and Robin, where they're like kind of teasing each other, and Batgirl's kind of it's kind of sassing Robin and giving him attitude, probably because they're similar in age, but she doesn't realize like how much more, I think, experienced he is in terms of.
No one cares about Robin and how experienced Robin is.
Bird.
They don't really care.
All right.
It's pretty crazy. I don't understand it. Oh, and Steve, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but what's something that upset me is that like everyone's all like, Gil Mason's a bad guy because he ducked too soon out of the bullets, and we were just looking at this previously on it, and it's just like you do realize Gil Mason ducked out of the way because he heard the tires screeching at this random rally for no reason at all, and it sounded like shit was about to go cray-cray, and he just responded, and that's the way you gotta respond if you're gonna be a hustler, son, and you're gonna run the business, and you're gonna fucking, take care of things. You gotta be paying attention, looking, checking your six, looking behind your back, always keeping your fucking head on a swivel. That's what life is.
He knew.
What?
He knew.
He did know. Who knew?
And he ducked early.
Who ducked early?
Gil.
Oh yeah, Gil knew, but like you can't really just blame him for ducking early. He just had good reflexes.
No, it was obvious.
It wasn't. If you watched that episode back last week,
I did.
You totally see that he clearly just heard shit start to go down, and he's all like, I better get down.
He ducked before he knew.
He shouldn't be in trouble for being a pussy.
Well, you get investigated for it.
Nah, dude, he's a player, and he knows how to play the game.
All right.
And that's what you got to do in this life. I want to say, Steve-O, did you also notice that in this episode, Harvey actually wants to be called Two-Face? One of his henchmen, one of his hired goons, actually said, like, hey, Harvey. And he was all like, Two-Face, call me Two-Face.
Yeah, Gil calls him Harvey.
So cool.
So is there like a room you could go into so we could have a good conversation about the show? What are your favorite episodes that you were so giddy to talk about?
I'm here in the corner. It's all right. I'm away from the speakers. It should be good.
All right.
My heart is racing, though, I have to say. I'm feeling like...
You feel like a new man?
I feel great.
Non-sober man?
I'm super sober here.
Oh, you are?
It's a sober party.
You're partying? You're having a party? I've never heard of a sober party.
Sober parties all day, every day here.
Man, that's super boring.
Every day, sun up to sun down, all day.
Well, you see Batgirl kind of shine, I guess, where she's much more investigative, and she's a smart girl, and is able to figure out. And she works well with Robin.
They have some amazing animation around Batgirl in these two episodes. It's really where they shine some of the most in this later part of the series. This and especially the upcoming Raish or Ra's al Ghul episodes. One thing, Steve, we do have here is we have a cliffhanger act break where Matches Malone is Batman. That's what we find out. We find that out. That's actually the cliffhanger act break. Literally, Two-Face is shooting down at Matches Malone. He figures it out. He's like, oh, Matches Malone is Batman, because Matches Malone yells out Robin. And then he just starts shooting at him, and then literally after the cliffhanger act break, he throws the gun down and he just runs away because Gil says, let's go. He could have killed Batman as Matches Malone and chose not to.
It's an easy one. It's an easy cliffhanger.
It was an easy cliffhanger, but it had one of the worst endings, and it really should have ended with the death of Batman as Matches Malone. One of the things that's wonderful about this episode, it's nice writing, it's kind of clever, is the way they it sidelined Batman and Robin, so Batgirl had to actually prove herself as a hero and save the day, even though in the end she does get the help and the aid from Batman and Robin in the final battle. She does get separated and have to do a lot on her own to figure it out. She has to prove herself as Batgirl, and I really like that. And it was a really clever way, like I said, how they sidelined Batman and Robin in the subway car.
I felt like
that shit would freak me out.
They definitely showed that she has skill and that she's competent. I don't know. It was fun, I guess, having all three of them together.
I like seeing the growth and the bonding of a family. Yeah. I think that's really where things like this episode shine the most. I also love this moment when the water comes at them and they have to like save themselves.
And then they do the C4 on the grappling hook. That was pretty badass.
It is cool, the grappling hook. I love that moment. It's so great. And then they get Batgirl out of there. But then a really great moment is afterwards in this Act 3 when they have the subway car set piece. Set piece. That would have literally cost millions of dollars to make in 1993 in live action. To have a subway car on tracks that would get pushed down a subway tunnel through tons of gallons of water and then crash through into an aqueduct, into like an LA River type. It's just incredible. And to think about that, you get these amazing, astonishing set pieces because it's animation.
Do you think that Bullock, that he actually believes that
Ballard, you want anything?
Thorne?
Can you give me another one?
That
Can
he's
you give
with
me another one of
Thorne's
these?
guys.
Gin and tonic coming up.
Thanks.
What was that?
Sorry, see, I just didn't want to walk away from here, and it's kind of hard to like get to the bar area easily right now. But I just need to get another drink.
You just another drink? So you admit that you're not sober? I heard gin and tonic.
Tonic only. Tonic water only.
You have anything else to say about this episode? Second part?
I do find it amazing, Steve, that Batman kills Two-Face with a giant silver dollar coin. And I really wondered if the cops let Batman keep that one too.
Did he kill him? I didn't think he killed him.
He squishes his skull to the point where his eyes change shape. I think it's probably likely if he didn't kill him, he gave him severe concussions.
Oh, Lord.
I would say the quality of life for sure is down for Harvey Dent.
Does he return after this episode?
The brain trauma he suffered alone from the multiple coins crushing him in his life now is probably going to render him useless in his later years. It's probably a really sad story.
I was looking up. Two-Face shows up a few times later on, so he's definitely not killed.
Well, I'm saying if he doesn't die,
he should have died.
Which he should have from a giant silver dollar falling on him.
Well, he
should definitely have suffered multiple concussions.
Well, I'm sure he did, but he has strong powers. Remember, he's like has super strength or something.
I don't know if anybody can get strong enough, Steve, to fight off brain trauma of that magnitude.
Well, he's already brain trauma, so.
Oh, Steve! Did you say he's already bringing the drama?
I did, yeah.
Definitely is. I also just want to talk about some other drama. So did Gil eventually die? Because in this end of this episode,
I don't know.
They say Gil's in a coma, and we never hear from him again. And he actually knows that Barbara Gordon is Batgirl, so we must at some point. Thank you so much for getting that. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I do think that, that he must have died, like his family member must
just
have pulled
stayed
the
in a
plug
coma.
or something. He's still in a coma forever?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Well, he's a government employee. Gets that health care.
Okay, well then I want to take it then on to one other question here, Steve, I have for you. So who knows whose identity right now? So we know Gil Mason knows that Barbara Gordon is Batgirl. But Barbara Gordon is standing behind her father when he gets reinstated as Commissioner Gordon. And there's Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson.
And they're just talking about, if Batman's gonna, be liking Batgirl, like as Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. It's so weird.
And Barbara is listening to them because they show her like eavesdropping, and then they're like, "Hey, do you think Batman will approve of this Batgirl?" And Bruce is like, "I suspect we will," meaning kind of like, "All right, first person, you're talking about Batman and Robin here," and then then it cuts over to Barbara, and she's just like, "You can count on it." So it's kind of like she must now know Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson are Batman and Robin, but Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne don't know that Barbara Gordon is right now Batgirl.
See, I don't know. I felt like they were talking about, in their opinion, I was thinking about this as well, and I wasn't sure like if they were saying like in their opinion, do you think we're going to see more of Batgirl? And they were like,
that's the way they can play it, I'm sure.
And
but
they were like,
it came off
do.
as they were like Batman and Robin.
Oh, for
like,
sure,
talking
it
openly
did.
about
I
it.
was like, it seemed very odd for them to be so out and about it. But then I thought about it again. I was like, well, I guess other people might talk about Batgirl. Or was there only other? Who else knew about? No, they did the newscast about Batgirl. Commissioner Gordon was just talking about her. But it's like, why would Bruce Wayne? Why would he even be there though? Like, why would they be involved in this press conference?
You don't know what committees Bruce Wayne is on.
All right, Mr. Defensive.
Well, I gave this episode a 5 out of 5, boys.
I give this one 4.
I have to say that for me, seeing Batgirl play out as an actual origin story, this is what I teased last week, Cool Boy Nation. I just want to make sure I get that across. This is what I teased last week when I said I was going to finally tell you guys what I thought about Steve's point.
Oh, you wait till the very end of the episode? This is what I thought about Steve's
point. So, here's what I thought about Steve's point. Steve, did you want to ask your point again?
I don't even remember. What did I say?
Your point was essentially you were asking, like, you or mentioning how you didn't like how her origin story sucked.
No, well, that's a real shorted way of what I was saying. And I wasn't saying it sucked. I was disappointed that it was like this. It's hard to put into words, I guess, but I was just disappointed that they truncated that she was just like, oh, she was good at gymnastics and whatnot. That makes her a Batgirl. You know,
and I would say nothing about it was truncated at all. If you think about the fact that they've had 3 other episodes to set her up.
And they should have done more, I guess. Besides, you know, they showed that she was smart and that she was investigative in Heart of Steel, but I was expecting more, I guess, because they were doing such a long burn with Batgirl in terms of like setting her up as a new character. All the other ones, they're pre-established.
Hey, buddy, I'm here.
Hey!
Who are you talking
you
to?
Shut up!
Hey, man, we got a party. What's going on? Let's do some lines and shit.
No, yeah.
Who's on the phone?
It's nothing. It's no one. I'm on the phone with nobody. It's cool.
Well, let's get going, man. Let's get going. Let's have a party time.
No, it's just for a second longer. I'm almost done with this.
Well, come on, man. Get off that stupid phone call.
You said that I'm no one?
Sorry, Steve, what's up?
Were you calling me no one? Oh, man, that hurt.
What'd you say? No!
You asshole.
Steve, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay. I like you. You're friends. We're friends.
It doesn't feel like it, man.
Sorry, Steve. It's just like celebrity status now. Celebrity status.
Celebrity status is not going to get too big for our show.
That's actually pretty cool, man. You can listen to last week's episode where he talks more about it. But for what my opinion on the matter finally is I like this origin story because I like how it's not an elemental origin like we see with Batman and Robin, where we see the most primordial aspect of their origin. With Batman, it's about his parents being killed in an alley, which we've seen in only kind of like fever dreams and hallucinations. You know, with Robin, you end up actually seeing it play out more in flashbacks with him actually like losing his family, being killed by Tony Zuko. What we get to see with someone like Batgirl here, Barbara Gordon, is something much more along the lines of Peter Parker. You're seeing someone kind of from the streets, ground up, slowly getting it done, poor, not with all this money, having to actually figure out what it's like to swing. She's not nailing it all right away. She is learning as she goes, but she's figuring it out, and she can end up being the best of the best because of it. That's one of my favorite things about this episode is that this way that these two-parters function as her origin. The way her origin plays out is we finally get to see a Batman Year One style origin, except we're seeing it through Batgirl's eyes. It's kind of a little bit like the recently released Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where you have this incredible Spider-Man tale told again, very similar tale told again. You've seen it before almost, but you're seeing it with this reverence that audiences now have, having seen 3 separate other Spider-Man movies franchises being built with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and now Tom Holland, that they're able to do it, but they did it with Miles Morales in Spider-Verse, like we're seeing with this Batman story being done this time by Barbara Gordon rather than seeing it done by Bruce Wayne. And you see these great things, like last week we saw the origin of her costume, how, you know, she takes out the padding to let's be like Batman, and she shows her more feminine figure, and she, you know, gets her hair like popping out because Robin tears off the back of the cowl. Huge signifiers of who she is, and like in her character to be, how she's a, you know, out and proud woman. And that's the whole thing. A girl, even Robin says when he sees her last week. And then you see her getting her weapons from Batman, literally. So you get to see like where she gets her batarangs, and you get to see where she gets her bat grappling hook. And you see her purpose and her need for a purpose to be there for her father, an aging, potentially corrupt commissioner for Gotham City. So it's established more so less from death and more from love, and a more positive location of this origin is happening from. It's not from so much death and surrounding it. It's more about justice and life and love.
And, you know, it just was like a week for her. They just don't focus on anything but that she did some gymnastic skills. You know, they didn't. To me, I guess there's not a lot of justification.
You're right, Steve. And if you watch this for what it is, and you don't take into the fact that there were at least 3 episodes that start to more establish who Barbara Gordon is before we get to this point, there is more they could have done to show that she
well, even the episodes
grow
that
into Batgirl.
That established her, I felt that those ones, I guess, were better at exemplifying, you know, that she had some skills. I guess that's what you're saying, but you know,
to pay the bills.
I just I did enjoy seeing, you know, the transformation of her into Batgirl. And what I also enjoyed was seeing that she was like kind of like smarmy, or she was sarcastic to Robin, and they were playing against each other. But I just wasn't you know, thrilled. I kind of felt like it didn't need to be a 2-part episode, I guess. You know, that this was one where it could have been like maybe 1.5. You know, it went on for too long, or like having, you know, the long con of Two-Face, you know, controlling, you know, Gil not being revealed until the 2nd episode, and Batman going undercover and getting kidnapped, and, you know, having them go on their own. You know, I felt like they could have had it be done. I guess they needed it to be 2 episodes, but it just felt like it was. They could have done more. They could have done a better job of developing her.
Well, I like also, I gotta say, the dichotomy of the fact that you see Batgirl once again with nothing, and she's got to figure this out with hand-me-downs and with, you know, things she's sewn herself. She doesn't have a butler, and then, you know, she gets literally gifts from Batman herself to flesh out her gear. And then you have Batman, who's able to do all this shit because he's got a butler, a mechanic, and Earl Cooper, and all these other dummy corporations and all this other shit that, like, Bruce Wayne is clearly fucking, like, totally lying to the IRS. Somehow he's figured it out. He's got it going. He's got great accountants and lawyers that also somehow are hush-hush enough.
It's all cash.
And,
he pays with cash.
He pays. Is that what it is, Steve?
Uh-huh. You can hide it if you know, you can hide stuff a lot easier if you pay with cash.
Hang on, wait. Let me take this into another room for a second. Steve.
Uh-huh.
Steve, what's this? You pay cash for dummy corporations?
Well, I don't know about dummy corporations, but I'm just saying if you spend your stuff in cash, you could then. It's a lot harder for it to be traced.
Huh. Hey, Steve. So if I was to, like, you know, maybe start up a few dummy corporations to, like, work with, like, maybe, like, a friend in another country, like, would it be helpful to start those dummy corporations in their country and maybe just, like, funnel a bunch of cash that way first?
I have no idea. You'll have to. We would have to talk about this off air.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, let's definitely figure that out because I got some ideas. I've been traveling a lot and meeting a lot of friends internationally, and I kind of, you know, been like trying to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? Get that money. Skrilla. Get the cheese. Cheddar cheese.
You're so cool.
Get that cheddar
You're a
cheese.
cool boy.
Cheddar cheese.
So yeah, I'd give this one 4 4 boys.
I give it 5 out of 5 boys.
All right. See you next week.
Cool. Great bat stuff, Steve.
Great bad stuff.
Cool Boy Bat Nation, tune in next week. Same Cool Bat time, same Cool Bat channel. Cool Boy Bat Nation, be sure to let us know about what you bat thought of
Shadow the Bat.
Shadow the Bat Part 2, or what your favorite Bat episode is, by emailing us at batmanandbeyondcoolboys@gmail.com. New episodes come out every Tuesday. You can find us, just type in Cool Boys. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Stay cool, Cool Boy Bat Nation.
Woo.
Until next time, it's Buzzies from Ballard.
Buzzies from Steve.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Hey, man, so sorry again. I double booked this. I won't do that again. I promise, man. Shit's getting crazy. Things are looking up, and I got things moving. Woo!
Yeah, you fucking suck.
So cool.
Batman
And beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Batman.
and Beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Hey! Look at you!
Do I look great still?
No, I think you're looking great still.
Thanks, Ballard. You're the best.